between fear and hope, between fear and hope, between fear and hope, between fear and hope, between fear.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Between Fear and Hope. I'm your host, trying to elevate. This next one we got, right? What we doing over here at Fear and Hope is we trying to express to the ummah that not everything is all good, not everything is all bad. As a believer, this is where we taught to live between fear and hope, right? And in the West, a lot of times we allow these false ideas, these false doctrines, these false philosophies to creep into our Islamic values, our Islamic traditions, our Islamic culture, and we sacrifice our Islam for whatever culture we are part of. And on this channel, we just pointing out some of those issues that are more obvious. And I'm not a scholar, I'm not a student of knowledge, I'm just a regular Muslim, pointing out some things that I see along the way of my travels, right? I am going to be accountable for everything that I say in this life. And if you see me start to be judgmental or talking about people or, basically backbiting, please check me. Please check me so that I can get it together. One for your brother, what you want for yourself, inshallah. This next video that I'm going to do is a 24-year-old dating coach. And he says men should leave women if they don't have sex on a second date. Now, for number one, you're 24. What do you know, right? Of course, some 24-year-old cat for going to say this, but I didn't watch the video, but I'm assuming he's going to say some toxic stuff, and I'm assuming that a lot of the young sisters are going to have to deal with this, right? This world that we prepare in, this world that why do I think that it's important for me to talk about these issues, right? Because I sit back and I'm just like, that ain't my place to talk about this. I'm older now. I'm just going to get myself in trouble with that tongue, right? Prophet Muhammad said he could guarantee Jannah for the person that could do what? Guarantee to safeguard his tongue and his private part. So it's very dangerous for me to sit on this platform and to try to critique people, because if I say the wrong thing, that's my ass. You hear me? You know what I mean? To the fire. You know what I'm saying? So I have to be careful, but I also have to try to leave a world that's going to be ripe for my daughter, ripe for my son, right? Our sons got to marry into these communities. Our daughters got to marry into these communities. So if we don't say nothing, then we setting them up to come into a world where the sexy reds have populated majority of our communities, and it's crept so far into the Islam that it pulls them down with it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody go down with the ship, and I can't do much, but I'm gonna do what I can, and that's why that's what I'm trying to do on this channel. I'm trying to give the young brothers and sisters advice on how they should be pursuing marriage. And spoiler alert, is not having sex on the first date or the second date. So, but I'm assuming I haven't listened to this yet, but I'm assuming it's gonna be some toxic stuff in here that I could tease out and hopefully give you a different perspective on whether you're older, what you should be saying to your children, and if you're younger, what you shouldn't be accepting from these dudes, or from what you shouldn't be accepting from these women either. So you don't take no favors. Of course, we going to protect the Muslims a little bit more because it's our responsibility. It's our duty. Allah says that he gave us an authority over the women because of what we spend from our wealth, right? And these scholars say that this is the protect and provide version of, what they get in the Bible. So we have a duty, we have a responsibility, and I'm just trying to do my part. I'm trying to elevate this community. I'm trying to elevate our women. I'm trying to elevate our men. To be better Muslims, to be better men, to be better husbands, to be better sons, to be better fathers, trying to elevate all of that. So let's get right into it. I already said too much.
How old are you, sweetheart?
I'm 24.
20. Okay, you old enough. Young, you want me to call you Young?
You can call me YND.
YND is your name?
Yes, ma'am. I'm a content creator, so I go by YND.
Okay.
So I was gonna say that, all right, he a content creator, but so a lot of times, a lot of these dudes they try to say the most provocative things so they could get more eyes on them, right? So be aware of that, for number one. For number two, for my young sisters, if a brother tell you, oh, my name is, I'm saying, like, if I came to you and be like, hey sis, my name Try and Elevate, because I use that online, dismiss me right then and there, nigga. What's your name? What name your mama gave you? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't let nobody give you this handle, because that identity is a facade. You already know it's a facade because it's the name that you're using on social media. It's like writing a book and not wanting to use your real name, right? Only reason I use Try and Elevate is because it speaks to what I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? And it's not my name. And I have a habit of that. Nicknames, like, I'm old school. So nicknames for me, you had to be given. You know what I'm saying? And because when I was in the practicing Muslim, I was out here, being a little reckless. So I would use different names as a facade. You know what I'm saying? When I went to school, I used a different nickname. When I was in a work environment, I would use a different nickname. When I was in the hood, I would use a different nickname, because I didn't want those things to be convoluted. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to intertwine those different things and have people looking at me a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? For number one, in the hood, I ain't want people looking at me based off of who my dad was. You know what I'm saying? That's something that we find in the hood, is a lot of times we ride the coattails of our dad. Our dad was a boy down the way, and now we want to be just like him, and we want to ride his coattails. So that was one thing. I always wanted to be my own man, so I stayed out of that. So I separated myself with, but my nickname was given. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say what it is, but yeah. So, and then when I was at school, I didn't want to use that street name because I didn't want nobody up there to know I was street. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when you inviting trouble into yourself. I went to Cheney. Cheney is not that far from Philly. All it take is for be like, oh yeah, the boy such and such is up here, and now I'm on campus. You know what I'm saying? In a situation. As also, I wasn't practicing Muslims. I didn't want the women to know I was on that type time, because you know what I'm saying? I wanted to portray something different. I wanted to be known for my scholarly attributes, for my, my wholesome attributes. Most of us meet our wives in college and stuff like that. So, you know what I'm saying? I was on that type time. When I'm in the workplace. Now in the workplace, I can go by my regular name. But you know what I'm saying? Now, oh yeah, grad school. Grad school was a little different. I went by my regular name, but I'm trying to think. Yeah, those the main two. I wanted to separate school and the hood life. So yeah, always that's always a good. It's always good to get a real person's real name. Don't go for this social media stuff. We not on social media. We in real life. You know what I'm saying? So if you're trying to meet somebody in real life, you're really trying to quote unquote date. He clout chasing. I can see that already. But if you're really trying to date, then don't give me your online handle. Now she has an app, so maybe he uses his real name on the app. I don't know, but Allah knows best. We won't get back into it. That's a long one. We probably not gonna finish it.
Okay, YNZ, you're 24. Where you calling me from, babe?
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Cincinnati, Ohio. How old are you?
24 years old.
You should be asking the same questions over and over.
I'm a technical recruiter, but the main things I really do is content creation. So I'm a dating coach on YouTube.
Okay, so you're a dating coach. So are you here to find somebody? Because I'm not here to help you promote.
Yes, ma'am. I'm here to find somebody. It's not for promotion.
So if you're a dating coach, I would assume you would already have
exactly
no
a pool of women.
That's easy to find. Yeah, it's easy to find women. Very easy to find women. It's just the type of woman I'm looking for. That's where it's kind of difficult with the lifestyle of being a content creator and filming.
So how can you help somebody if you can't help yourself?
Stuff like that.
So what do you do as a dating coach then?
What do you mean?
Exactly what I asked. What do you do as a dating coach?
I'm teaching guys how to date.
Oh, you're teaching men. You're teaching the men.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So I'm kind of like, I done took over kind of like the red pill type of stuff. I'm not red pill, but I done kind of took over like the dating scene, basically. So I'm teaching guys how to date successfully, because it's easy for me in a lot of regards. But when it comes to like finding a specific type of woman that I'm looking for, when it comes to, because right now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build with somebody when it comes to content creation. So I'm kind of looking for somebody that's on the same page as me, like into content, filming. And that's what gets real difficult, because a lot of women, they just don't understand that lifestyle. You know what I'm saying?
So I want to be clear. You're not here for promotion. You're here to truly find somebody.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So YND 24, Cincinnati, Ohio. What's your
Light
zodiac
skin
sign?
bright.
I'm a Leo.
Leo. Do you have any kids?
No.
No kids. And I'm assuming you've never been married, right?
No, I've been married.
Oh, you have been married. When did you get divorced?
I know that.
2023, so a year ago. And some change.
How long was you married for?
It was about 3 years, so I like to say 2.5 to 3 years running.
So you got married at what, 21?
But no, I was 20.
Okay. You have no kids, correct?
No kids.
So why'd you get married so early?
That's good. That's good. I might take some of this stuff
I
back.
just thought it was right, at the time. You just do what you think is right.
So why'd you get divorced?
Didn't see eye to eye on some things. I like to do things my way, and she didn't. Her family was like overly involved, and I had some family members that was trying to be overly involved as well. So, it just I can't be controlled. So I was like, I don't like ultimatums and things like that. So I said, yeah, we're done with this.
Okay. You got some paid questions, child. Dehande said you still got Similac on your lips.
Dark.
How the hell you gonna teach someone how to date?
Facts, right? These joints super dark, but these lights is blinding me. Where my other joints? That's not that bright. Or maybe my eyes just getting tired from this light being on my face all this time. I couldn't even see through them joints, though. Where them other joints at? I think these joints might be better. No, these joints dark too. My bad, y'all. I should have been ready already, right? There we go. That's better. That's better, baby. All right. So she made the comment. Somebody made the comment. You still got Similac on your lips. How you gonna teach somebody about dating? Now, just because somebody's young don't mean that they don't, they ain't wise, right? But I think that if you giving somebody dating advice, then you have to have experience for number one. Just because it's easy for you to get women don't mean that you good at dating. Because if you're good at something, then it's evident. It's proof. You know what I'm saying? Running through women, that's for little kids. That's not evidence, right? And that's not mature. And that's, especially, he light skinned. He got the, people, our young generation, they end really like light skinned dudes made a comeback after the Healy board, right? So they had went out of style for a while, but they back. And a lot of times when men get cocky because they think they can get a lot of women, but the women are the ones that do the choosing. You know what I'm saying? You was chosen, bro. But yeah, let me see what these people got to say. The reason I was a little critical from the rip is just because of the title, right? I think it's honorable that he got married young. I think it's better to get married young because you don't get jaded by your experiences. And what do I mean by that? If your experiences are negative, you get jaded because then you start to look through things at a negative light. But if your dating experience is your experience, but previously is positive, then you start to have remorse and regret, and you start to look for those things in your new spouse. You know what I'm saying? Like you done tried vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, pecan. You done tried everything, and now you stuck with vanilla for the rest of your life, and you're like, oh man, I miss pecan. Oh man, I miss chocolate. Oh man, I miss no strawberry. I miss this. I miss that. Like, oh man, she don't have the Oreos in it. Oh, she don't have the Reese cups in it. You know what I'm saying? And you start the comparison, and they say comparison is the thief of joy. And so ideally we want our children to be able to adopt the ideology where you could still be successful, you could still be a doctor, you could still be an astronaut, you could still be a ball player, whatever you want to be in the process of being married. You know what I'm saying? Marriage don't stop that, especially if you got the support of your parents. And that's another thing in the black community. We got to continue to support our children after they turn 18. 18 is not some magic number where you become super responsible and is up from there. Parents need to still support, especially if they marry. You know what I'm saying? Help your child, help their marriage, because that marriage is going to make them successful. You know what I'm saying? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that marriage is half the deen. You know what I'm saying? And that this is a requirement to be whole. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta help in whatever way we can. But I'm gonna let the young man do his thing. Let's hear what he gotta say.
Sleeplessness.
I knew that was gonna happen, yo. I knew that was gonna happen. Yo, I knew that was gonna happen. Let me do this. I got hit by the commercial. I don't want to have to edit it out, so I'm just going to. I'm probably still gonna end up editing it out, but let's just. Did I restart? Yeah, I hit record. Boom. All right. Let's get the sound back.
That's a real question?
That's a real question.
Oh, man. Look, whoever that is, tell your girl to hit me up, and I'll show you.
See? Immature.
Tell his girl to hit you up?
Yeah, whatever girl he crushing on, he can tell her to hit me up, and I'll show him how I can teach him how to date.
Okay, so whatever girl you want, he said, send her his way.
Yeah.
And he will tell you.
And I'll show him how it's done.
Okay. All right. Let me get more into your business. YND, 24, Cincinnati, Ohio. Is a Leo, no kids, was once married. Is an online creator and a dating coach. What kind of women are you looking for?
It's a long list. I'll say, just to start, keep it simple, I'll say submissive and cooperative. That's like the big thing.
Kevin Samuels.
So you're not finding that along your dating journey?
I find it in different aspects, but not exactly what I'm looking for with what my lifestyle brings, which is different than a lot of people, right, doing this like content stuff and, filming. So, yeah.
Because you want her to be
I believe him, though.
Cooperative, and also a business
These young
partner.
girls
like you
ain't
want
that.
the relationship to be, you want an internet relationship, basically?
Somewhat, yeah, somewhat. And at the very least, I'm open to different, versions. But I'll say this: she at least got to be okay with what I do. So what I found basically was before I was a dating coach, dating was easy. Once I became one, and then I'm telling women that, and they see what I do, and then on my channel, like I bring girls on there. That's where the problem comes in. A lot of women have a hard time separating the business aspect of what I do from real life. You get what I'm saying? So that's like the main problem.
I want to jump in because some people are saying, I never claim to be a dating coach. So just FYI, I don't claim to be a dating coach. I don't claim to be a dating expert or relationship expert. I have said this 10,000 times on my show. I'm a journalist that created a dating show to allow people. Now, I've been doing my show for almost 5 years. So after talking to more than 10,000 people for 5 years, you can share data and information. I do that at times, but I don't claim to be a dating coach for those that are trying to say that's what I do. No, I give single people an opportunity to come on my platform to expose themselves to the World Wide Web of the people that follow me and a chance for them to meet somebody. Will I get feedback at times? Absolutely. Because like I just said, you hear so much in the 5 years of hosting the show. So let's be clear. Now back to you. Okay.
Yeah, she basically has become an expert because of she in the trenches. She hear all of the issues, so she's able to advise. And that's part of what I want to do on this show, but from a marital aspect, dating is a trick. Dating was a setup, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a whole segment on dating, right? Dating was a setup that was introduced through the whole, engagement, diamonds are a man's best friend industry. You know what I'm saying? When people think of the proper way to do a relationship, they automatically think dating because you've been advertised that. You've been propagandized to believe that. But that's not true. Before I'm gonna say maybe the 40s, around the 50s, dating was still not a thing. But it's amazing how stuff could change in less than 100 years. I would say even less than 60 years. Like dating was, dating is still pretty new. So this whole dating coach thing is just like, what is that? You have to be able, but this is especially for my young men. Let me look at you. Let me look at you. As a young man, you have to be able to articulate yourself. If somebody asks you a question, you should be able to dissect that question and answer it properly. It's the only way somebody's going to take you serious. Now, if he really want to be a dating coach, if he really wanted his stock to go up off of this show, he would have been able to articulate what he offers to his clients. Right now, he just saying, I'm a player. That's all he's saying. So he probably has a target audience, but it sounds like his target audience is going to be men that want to take advantage of women and women who are vulnerable and really want something, kind of like the show Hitch. You know what I'm saying? Like people thought, I don't get into the details of it, but Hitch, he, remember he set the dude up and after he got them draws, he skated. And you know what I'm saying, this sound like he that type of dude. You know what I'm saying? He gonna try to tell you all of the game, the lies that you could tell, so that you could get what you want with no commitment. As Muslims, we not into that. You know what I'm saying? We far from that, right? So I wouldn't consider myself a dating coach. I am somebody that's trying to help bring back marriage in the Muslim community. Not bring back, because it hasn't gone anywhere, but to take away some of the fears of marriage in our younger generation, take away some of the obstacles, or define or point out some of the obstacles, and hopefully give some advice on how to avoid those obstacles, or how to overcome those obstacles, so that we can increase the marital rate in our community, and women could be prepared so that they're not taken advantage of by the lame Muslims and making it bad for the good Muslims, right? Because a lot of good Muslim men out here are capable, well, more than capable of having another wife, at least 2 wives. But because they don't want to destroy their families, they're being restricted to having just one wife. And many women are not going to be able to, especially black women, are not going to be able to get married because of that. Black women are the least married women. So when it comes to black Muslimas, you know what I'm saying, this is going to be an exponential, a disproportionate effect on them, because of all of the negative propaganda that non-Muslim black women give black women in general. So me as a black man, I feel obligated to kind of help women out, in a sense, by preparing them with some of the tools to weed out the fuckboys. And it's plain and simple. We dodging fuckboys over here. Let's get back into it. Excuse my language.
Uncooperation. If you crazy, too many mental health issues.
Give me some examples of crazy girls you've run into.
Yeah, so like for me, like after I lay it down, a lot of times, like not a lot of times, but sometimes, like some of the girls, like they done popped up at my house, like unexpected.
This is
like crazy.
This is
calling my mama, calling family members and
clout
stuff.
chase, right?
You know what I'm saying? Like that stuff, that's crazy.
Clout.
Can't be like that.
I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of my cousins, that's my followers, they think that you're clout chasing and just trying to promote.
I believe everybody's entitled to their opinion, and I can see why they would think that.
Exactly, because that's what you're putting on.
No, it's not.
Okay.
I can see why they would think that. She should have challenged them on that. What do you say?
For sure.
What do you say? And why are we wrong?
I'm big on. I like thick women. Like the last woman that was on here, I like how she looked, but they ain't got to be just like that. I'm kind of open. My predominant preference, I would say, is black women for sure.
Okay.
I'm about 6 feet, so it kind of don't matter most of the time, like the women's height. I do prefer natural looks though, like natural hair and stuff. That's really the main thing. Straight teeth. You got straight teeth. I love fingernails, like getting your nails done like the right way. You know what I'm saying? So I like that. That's like the main stuff.
So saying the right way is not really saying nothing, because that's subjective. It's subjective. What's the right way? The right way for you might be, manicured, earth tone, you know what I'm saying, French manicure, like a clear coat and, maybe white tips. But for somebody else, doing it the right way might be, 8-inch stiletto heels with different colors on each one, and gems and jewels, and, you know what I'm saying, like loud and flamboyant. So that's what I'm talking about, articulation. You got to be able to articulate yourself.
So real quick, I'm just curious.
But that's another thing that we seeing in the Muslim community. Our sisters with these fake nails. Astaghfirullah, sis. I don't think, see, we always be like going back and forth like, damn, dude, they know that this is haram. But yeah, y'all know, because I'm starting to see a lot of y'all going to social media and saying why y'all still want to do it, despite what the consensus is, right? The nails, fake nails are haram because, number one, they're deceptive. You know what I'm saying? It's no different than a weave, which y'all have an issue with as well. But when you make wudu, the water has to touch your nail. It's been evidence that shows even this water permeable nail polish that a lot of these people are promoting is not water permeable. And the way that you can test that yourself by taking something that's porous, painting the nail with it, and seeing if it is able to pour the water in through the polish. Use however many coats that you would typically use on your fingers, and if it goes through, then But for number two, that's just on the paint side. But for number two, with the glue is chemical. It's harming yourself. We can't do nothing that's going to be harmful to ourselves. That glue is toxic. It's poison. Look at the stories that people who, actual nails are being destroyed by this. Their skin are being destroyed by this. Their, it's a poison. The same with the weave and the glues and the dyes and all this other stuff. It's just like you have to be careful what you're doing to your body. A big problem in our community is PCOS, right? And women getting fibroids and these things of this nature, and that's mainly because of the hair products, the perms, but also the birth control. You know what I'm saying? One of the first things I did when I met my wife was get her off of birth control. Birth control is now. And before I say this, right, you're gonna think, oh, what you know about this? I am, like I told you, I was in a doctorate program. I have a degree in molecular and cellular biology, right? I'm gonna put that out there. I work for a biopharmaceutical company, and this is even before all of this. One of the things that I knew is that stuff is toxic. And before when I've been saying this for I don't know how long, 15 years, I could think back all the way to like one of my first girlfriends where I was on this type time, like stop getting birth control, stop getting depo. Whenever you see somebody gain a lot of weight from, basically getting a hormone shot, that it's dysregulating your body in some way, and that's eventually going to have some detrimental consequences down the line. So it's not proven, but I would think also that it has something to do with like Crohn's and Graves' disease as well. But I can't say certain stuff on this platform. So, but yeah, get off of the birth control. Don't put your children on. My little cousin just had a stroke from birth control. She had to get off of it, and she was on it because doctors tell you it's going to regulate your hormones so your periods won't be as heavy. And you know what I'm saying? Because my little cousin, she was, she's still in school. She's still in high school. So, her menstrual used to get so bad that it would disrupt her learning. So, her Muslim father was kind of against it, but his Christian wife, which that's a whole other topic, was for it. And a lot of times you can't tell these women nothing. So, they did it, and she ended up, alhamdulillah, she's good now. She's fine. Please just make dua for her. And, but she, they had to take her off of this. It's natural ways to deal with your cramps. One of the things that I've heard, is taking a spoonful of mustard either right before it comes, but also during your period to help with the stress and the pain and the cramping and stuff like that. So it's something in the mustard seed that's supposed to be good for that. So look up natural remedies. I'll try to find some more of these natural remedies. I got like so many herb books. I'll try to put together a list for our Muslim sisters and see. But I'm sure there's plenty of Muslim sisters out here that specialize in herbal remedies and stuff like that. Y'all can find it there. I ain't going to make no promises I can't keep. But yeah, let's get back into it. We ain't going to get far in this because I'm doing a lot of talking. But we're going to try to at least say this joint an hour. So let's try to get through 20 minutes. Maybe we'll break it down into, multiple parts, inshallah. All right, so let's get back into it. Let me get y'all back on the big screen, on the Tizoo.
What do you teach the men? Because you say you teach men how to date. So what are the issues that you're finding that men have when it comes to dating?
A lot of guys, I mean, a lot of guys are just down bad. I mean, they have a hard time dealing with women's like flakiness. So a lot of women, like, they cancel on dates. A lot of women just use guys for attention and, free dates. If they do go, then they don't.
Wait, they're telling me you're recording. Are you recording?
No.
Okay. All right, continue.
Yeah, and then a lot of women just have a lot of options compared to most men, not me, but a lot of men. So then it's like the women usually have a hard time, like, there's this new guy popping up every day. It's a new guy, you know what I'm saying, through dating apps, through social media. So that's usually the problem that a lot of guys are dealing with. It's like they can't get a girl to be consistent with them. That's usually like the biggest issue.
You don't have control over what people do. So how can you help them in that instance? So this goes to tell me that he don't really. Let me be quiet.
Shoot.
Someone made a good point. Do you want the girl that you're trying to date to call you Y and D?
See what I be saying? Bro, I be knowing what's going on. They might be a little late to it, and you gotta think about it. I'm just one person. This is, you know what I'm saying? It's probably like, on a Kendra G live, you can get 10,000 people in there easy, right? So just imagine you got 10,000 people all thinking about something and all making comments, and just little old me, I'm like calling that stuff out as soon as I see it. You feel me? Because it's obvious, right? And it's obvious because I'm a man. It's obvious because not only am I a man, I'm a man that respects women, as particularly Muslims, and that takes the obligation that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed on, the responsibility that is placed on us seriously. So I don't want to see, and I ain't always been this way. I ain't going to try to toot my own horn, but I don't want to see, dudes like this take advantage of our sisters. So let's keep going.
Nah.
Then then you should be giving me the name that you want the girl to date you by, like, because you're looking for a relationship, right?
Yeah.
So shouldn't she call you by your name?
Yeah, I mean, my name is D. Like, that's my name, D.
Okay, so I'll call you D. Okay, so one thing, I was just curious to know how it works. So you're saying men are having a hard time with women being flaky.
Yeah.
So I just want to know a lesson. How do you teach them what is your method of fixing that for these guys?
Exactly.
A lot of guys, so it's two things. A lot of guys, the women are flaky because they're not direct and concise with what they want from the girl, like what they're actually looking for. So that's number one. I try to teach guys to be more direct and concise with their plans and what they're actually looking for with that woman. And then the other thing is just playing a numbers game more. Like, a lot of guys are lazy, you know what I'm saying? So they just want to approach like 5 girls, and then when one flake, they want to kind of complain about it, you know what I'm saying? When really you got to, no matter who you are, you got to talk to a lot more women than that. You know what I'm saying?
Money to do that.
Really get something set. So teaching guys to play the numbers game, getting over their fear of rejection, just going out here shooting their shot a lot, just teaching them how to build confidence, stuff like that. And then the other side is being more concise with your words. Like, I'm big on having a good mouthpiece and stuff like this, articulation and things.
Okay, got you. All right. So the last question I have for you was, should she look a certain way? Should she make a certain amount of money?
Nah, she just gotta have something going on. I don't, a lot of guys, they'll be like, I don't care what women is doing. I do. You gotta have something going on. You know what I'm saying, in your life. Like, you gotta have some sort of education or working some sort of job, some sort of goals. I don't really care how much you actually making, because I already make enough as is, and we can grow and build from that. But you got to be doing something. That's a red flag. You ain't got nothing going on.
Okay. Could she have kids?
For a relationship?
That's what you're looking for, right?
Okay, I'll just make it sure, because I can dibble and dabble, but nah, no kids.
So are you saying that you would date a girl that has kids, but you wouldn't make her, you want to grow into a relationship?
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you looking for? Are you looking to date, or are you looking for a relationship?
No, I'm here because I'm looking for. I already date. I got a date after this. I'm looking for a relationship. That's why.
You're going on a date after you're done talking to me?
Yeah.
So you're trying to recruit more women to date.
So he ain't
because like I told you, the biggest problem that I get now is that I'm a content creator and I've been doing this for a year. The biggest problem is when I tell women this and they see it, so they start playing games. Like, they try to like outmaneuver me or something because I'm a dating coach, or they feel weird because some of my content, I bring women on there and they have a hard time separating. You see what I'm saying? Like, the business from what's real. Like, they think I actually want those girls because of that, or they just think too deep about everything. That's what I'm saying.
So the girl you're going on a date with, this gonna be the first date, or have y'all been on a date before?
This is the first date.
This is the first date. So you're preparing. So you want to find another girl just in case she decides she can't handle you.
Yeah, you gotta play the numbers game. Well, I'd be boo-boo the fool if I just went out with one girl.
Do you think women should date like this?
Absolutely.
Okay, fair enough. All right, let's do the Kendra cam.
What that is? I'm sorry.
That's when you stand up and we see your full body.
Okay.
They're telling me that you're streaming. You say you're not streaming right now?
I'm not streaming nothing, Kendra. This is my first time ever being here.
Okay, all right.
You know what that
okay,
is.
I gotta take. They're telling me you're streaming, but I'm gonna take your word.
I'm
all
not
right.
streaming.
So D24, what's the age range you want to date?
I'll say 18 to 35.
Well, you gotta say 21 is the youngest you could be on my show and say.
Okay, I got you. 21 to 35.
21 to 35. All right. When was your last relationship?
The marriage. So 2023, June.
Okay. You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
What's today?
About the flex. I know it.
Saturday. Thursday.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So did you spend the whole day with her, or you just had sex with her?
The latter.
So, and if she's not the girl you're going on a date with tonight?
Nah, the girl I'm going on a date with tonight is the first day. I just met her.
So what's wrong with the girl you had sex with on Thanksgiving?
Nothing wrong with it. She just got to go through the vetting process. I mean, it's just the beginning. That was the first time.
You're the dating coach. So this is how you're telling men how to date.
Yeah, you got to play the numbers. I would tell women the same thing.
I would just ask this: if you how
So let me interject right now. Dang, it's like, right. there is a in the hood, there's a understanding, right, that surviving the hood is tough. Don't get me wrong, right? Either you're gonna be play ball, come from money, play ball, come from money, can rumble. You the dude that is untouchable, or you play with them things, which is more common now. You play with them things, or you the dude that get the women, right? Now you could dip and dab in most of them Jones, and many of us do because we want that popularity, right? These are the four main pathways to popularity. Popularity is actually a safety mechanism. It's something that we do to stay safe, right? Which might seem counterintuitive because the popular dude usually get the most hate, right? And that's part of it that come with it, right? So I'm sorry, you either get money. That's what it is. You either come from money, you get money, or get money. You play ball, you play with them things, or you get women. Now, like I said, women is a part of all of these different things because a lot of times that popularity, we do it because we want the women, but we also do it because it kind of makes us safe. Now, there is a unwritten philosophy in the hood where the more women that you sleep with, the thoroughly you are as an individual. But it's actually the latter. You know what I'm saying? The more women that you sleep with, the more of a weak man that you are because you using women to make yourself feel and make other people feel some type of way about you when you hold all of the keys to your own self-esteem. But you putting that burden on you hurting people to make yourself feel good, and you don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? You do it, and it's because we see our fathers do it, we see our homies doing it, and us as men, we never hold each other accountable, right? Now, in a Muslim community, this is creeping into the deen where you see brothers that serial marriers. You know what I'm saying? A few years ago, was this brother on Instagram from Philly, of course, who had like 16 divorces. How do you have 16 divorces? Like, how does the Ummah, how does Philly Muslims allow a brother to get to number 16 without an intervention? We can't allow dudes like this to abuse our women. We can't. Now 16 women that's associated with him are going to have a terrible time trying to complete half of their deen because most men are not going to want to marry these sisters now because he's known as the dude that had 16 divorces and you was one of his wives. Now, I don't know if it's children, but I'm quite sure it is. I don't know for sure how many, but I'm quite sure it's children involved at this point. But it's like us as the men. It was a time when I was Muslim back when I first became Muslim back in the day, right? You disrespect Islam, you disrespect the brothers, you disrespect the sisters. There was consequences. You would have 30 Muslims pull up on your block, bro. No matter where you from. You from Beirut, you from Badlands, you from the projects. It don't matter. You don't disrespect the Muslims. If you do, it's gonna be consequences. We pulling up, right? And those days are gone. You know what I'm saying? It was to the point where if you say the wrong thing or you disrespect the masjid, brothers is dragging you out of there. Now, I'm not saying that this is the proper way to do these different things, but come on, like, we can't allow people. This is disrespectful to the deen. This is disrespectful to the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Can't have this rampant divorce in the community and allowing dudes like this to taint. The Muslima is like a beautiful flower. You gotta nurture, you gotta care for and nurture that flower. Point blank, period. Allah made us the gardeners responsible for the garden. The garden is full of our Muslims. You know what I'm saying? We keep them covered. We keep them covered from the elements. We make sure that they get the proper sunlight. We make sure that they shine bright. We make sure that they are viewed properly. We make sure that they don't get too many people touching on them. We make sure that they're safe. We make sure that they're nourished. This is our responsibility. But if you got people coming in there just putting their hands on everything and plucking flowers out just to smell them and then discard them, then you don't have a garden no more. Now you got compost. You can brush all that stuff up, leave it in the bin for a year, and then try to use it to grow something else. And that's what we doing. We discarding, we letting our sisters be abused, discarding them, and then using them to fill in to help other situations, using them to donate to the masjid, using them to volunteer and do this, and using them to run the daycares, and using them to make money, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what they for, bro. The bros need to come back and be strong again, pulling up. Let's get back into the content.
Are you ever gonna be focused, give a person enough time to see if they're worth your attention? Because I feel like with this type of dating, if you always feel like right now you have a date after the show, you haven't gone on this date yet, but you're already preparing yourself to meet somebody after her. So it's like, to me, it seems like you're gonna forever, if one girl does something that you don't like, you're just gonna move on to the next. Mm-hmm. And I think long-term relationships that I have talked to, they stick around and they go through shit together. It's not always sweet. All the people that you see married in long-term relationships is them sticking around when the going gets tough. And to me, it seems like for you, you're not trying to stick around with anything. Like, you was with a girl on Thursday, you got a new date 2 days later, and now you're on the worldwide dating show.
But this is why you can't blame the brother, because it's dating. Dating is a farce. This is why Islam has the answers to all of these problems. Y'all upset because there's all these problems in the dating market, because dating is man-made. It's only like 40, 50 years old. This is why we marry. Marriage comes with responsibility. Marriage is upheld by men of honor. You know what I'm saying? Dishonorable men not trying to get married. That's the number one way to weed out a dishonorable man. Now, do we have some dishonorable brothers that choose to marry? Yeah, but not because they want to, because Islam legislates that upon them. They don't have no other choice. But as a general construct, marriage is for honorable men. Dating is for little kids. Dating is for kafirs. Dating is for people who want to play in the dirt and don't come and hope that they don't come up with chicken pox.
Looking for more women to put in queue. So
I meant ring burns.
If somebody wants something serious, you would be the guy to date, because you're already proven that you're going to keep it moving before you even meet her.
No, I disagree. I just got a different vetting process than most of the population.
But you're not, and that's fair, but you're not even giving a woman a week of your attention, right? You're not giving, which is short in itself. But if you're not willing to give one woman a certain amount of time of your undivided attention, and you're just, I can see if you didn't like this person, and that's one thing, right? But to me, your pattern shows that as soon as a woman does something that you don't like, you're just going to move on to another woman.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
If a woman wanted something, I think my observation, if a woman wants to date and just nothing serious, you're the guy for her. Date, have a good time. I think you're attractive.
And this is why a lot of the women are using the men to get free meals, because it's dudes like this. They like, oh, this nigga, he just want to hump. You know what I'm saying? He already got his situations going on. If he want to take me out and wine and dine me, I'm going to take that opportunity, because I ain't got no food in the fridge. You feel me? That's why a lot of these folks is out here doing it, but it's inflating their egos as well, because now you got chicks coming out with lists, with restaurants they not accepting, because they think they dimes, they think they pretty, they think they can demand these different things, and it's just like, yo, you just another cog in the wheel. You're a part of the messed up system. Yeah, you getting over on it now because you young, but you ain't always gonna be young. You're wasting your time. Now you done spent 5 years with this philosophy, and what you put out, you gotta get back. So now, you know what I'm saying, you done doubled that to 10. You was 28 and you was cute. Now you're 38 and you're lonely. And this is some of the stuff that Kevin Samuels got right. This is some of the stuff that he was trying to warn these women about, but they couldn't get past his tone. You know what I'm saying? The truth is the truth. It don't matter who hold it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta learn how to remove your emotions from that situation. Because even Allah gonna tell you some things that you're gonna find hard to do. And you still gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind.
Serious, you're not the guy.
No, I disagree. I'm both guys, and I can tell you why. So one, the one. So for me, this is how I move. I'll just tell you straight up. Women have to earn the right for me to even care about being like compassionate outside of normal human decency. So I treat anybody with respect, right? But for you to get to a place to where you can do something to me that's actually messing up my life or my livelihood, and it's a riff or like a bump in the road, and then I'm like, okay, we're gonna work through this. That ain't coming in the first 2-3 months. The first 3 months, that's a probationary period, just like a job. I run my stuff just like I do with my job with recruiting and sales. First 90 days, if there's any issues in that, you're gone. I only deal with girls. It got to be 100% cooperation from the jump. If it ain't that, then you gone.
Well, you date like you're the prize.
That's like a abstract concept. People can argue.
Because let me say this too. You also, okay, it's one thing if you're dating this way, but I don't know. You tell me if I'm wrong or not. Do you require these women to have sex with you during this non-committed relationship process?
Absolutely. Yeah, of course. They wouldn't even be around for 90 days if they don't do that.
That's stupid. This is really dumb. Any girl that does that with you is stupid. She's going to agree to have sex with you. So, she's basically auditioning. That's dumb. It's dumb because the whole point is this. And men say it time and time again. Whenever a woman comes on my show, and here's the deal. I have conversations with husbands, and then I have conversations with men like you. And there's no judgment. But what I've come to terms is husbands, they value their wives. They look at their wives as, and I'm thinking of like 5 different men who have been married. And of course, life ain't perfect. So they're going through things. But they look at their wives as a piece of their life that if she left, they couldn't imagine, right? They're like, she fits a puzzle that no other woman can fit in their lives. Then there's men like you, who I think you aesthetically have the attractiveness. You tall, you have the height in your favor, who date as in, you got to be the woman to catch me. You got to lock me down. You just said if a girl's not your girl and she's not having sex with you, why would a girl have sex with you if she's not your girl? Like, that should be a requirement off the jump if she wants a relationship.
Well, one, I'll say this. They do it all the time. And then the second thing I'll say is that most of the dudes you probably thinking about is weak men. So I don't know no man.
Pause. These are very successful men that also, I'm happy you said that. They're actually very successful. A lot of them have a lot of money. And that's one of the reasons, hold on, pause. That's one of the reasons why they don't, because they have so much to lose. See, a lot of you guys don't got shit to lose. So that's why you be around here with so many different women because.
But before she go in, she everything she's saying is on point, right? Not everything, but a lot of what she's saying is on point, right? But that's another issue that we got in society. Just because you got money don't mean that you a strong man. You just a nigga with money. You know what I'm saying? You can still be a lame and have money. You can still be a pedophile and have money. You can still be a twerp, a really weak man and have money. Look at a Bill Gates or something like that. You know what I'm saying? His money allows him to take advantage of women, but he wouldn't do that in the presence of a woman with a woman with a strong male presence in her life. You feel me? Because he knows it's going to be consequences. Now, he has enough money where he feel like he above consequences. But if you think about the average person that just got a couple dollars, you know what I'm saying? Like even at Kevin Samuels, like let's just say hypothetically you get somebody that's like Kevin Samuels but instead of, I actually think he was very respectful. He always gave the women an opportunity to, warn them several times and they stepping out of lane. Blah, blah, blah. But just imagine that he was super disrespectful to all these different women and pulling up on them, telling them, oh yeah, you fat, you ugly, you know what I'm saying? And he lived in close proximity to them and had a relationship. Like he did this to somebody at his job, hypothetically. He's going to have to deal with consequences from a man in her life. And he even talked about this on the show, taking karate and all that. But I'm gonna tell you from the rip, like, yeah, that shit is all fine and dandy. But if you meet the right person, that stuff don't matter. You know what I'm saying? That stuff don't matter. By the time you get in that stance, you know what I'm saying? I know some dudes that, but before you can even get in that stance, man, you're waking up. You're waking up. You feel me? And that's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? All that karate stuff ain't going to work on everybody. Now, the reason he does that is because he wants to keep himself fit. And he wants to keep himself, there's always that propensity for violence amongst men. So you gotta be intentional about that. You know what I'm saying? But this is why you need to be respectful. the internet has given us anonymity to a point where men are not respectful. Men are weak, for number one. That's why we got all these school shootings, and we got all these incels who comment on women who they wouldn't have a shot with on their best day. And it's just stirring this red pill content because they're willing to buy this stuff because that's what makes them feel whole. But you just got a bunch of weak men with money. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that somebody is weak just because they don't sleep with a woman after 2 days, or if they go on multiple days. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the false concepts of Jahiliyyah that we allow to creep into Islam. Maybe not the dating situation, because even though Muslim people do date and they're not supposed to, I don't think it's to the point where it's like, oh, if she ain't effing on the second, you know what I'm saying, it's not that bad. If she ain't fucking on the second date, then she a rap. Like, you know what I'm saying? I remember Jeezy said, now, disclaimer, I stopped listening to music a long time ago, but I still got a lot of lyrics in my head. And I remember Jeezy saying, she give it to me, if she playing with it, she won't, what did he say? First time I got with Kanye, I got my money right. He say, basically he said, if she give it to me now, she won't let us see tomorrow. But if she's playing, if she give it to me now, she won't make it to tomorrow. But if she playing with it, she won't make it through the night. First time I got with Kanye, I got my money right. Basically, is she in a lose-lose situation? Because if she don't give it up, then she won't even, she you know what I mean, the night is over. But if she do give it up, then she won't even make it to tomorrow. I'm on to the next one. So it's a lose-lose situation. And women got to stop putting themselves in those situations, point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? Like, the glitz and the glamour and all that is not worth your self-dignity. Let me continue, because I'm talking a lot. We already what? How far in are we? I can't even see. Get it back to the back, and then boom.
Because you're not worried about losing your business or losing your reputation. These are men that have way more money than you. Not trying to be funny, but you call them weak. So let me just break them down. They have way too much to lose to be sleeping with different women every single night that can come back and blow up their whole entire shop. So I mean, listen, if you're the one thing that's in your favor is you're honest.
Not literally.
So I respect that. Any woman that signs up with you knows what she's getting into. But these are not weak men. They're actually very strong, successful men that have a lot of money in the bank.
Well, I don't, and Kendra, I say this respectfully. I enjoy this dialogue, by the way. So same respect you giving me, I'm giving it to you. I don't care how much money they make. So money don't make a man, strong or weak. So it's more about the mindset. So I'm saying the fact that you saying that the way that they would talk about their women is they can't live without them, like it's some sort of Michael Bolton tune or something.
Oh, okay, that's what you're saying. Are we 52 minutes?
That's not what a man would do. See, I could live without any woman. You see what I'm saying? So that's the problem for me.
I see what you're saying.
I don't care how much money they make. To me, that little rhetoric of like you make a certain amount of money. Like, I'm a 6-figure earner. I've been making 6 figures since I was 21. That doesn't validate me or make me feel any better. That's just what I make. You see what I'm saying?
Listen, at the end of the day, I respect your viewpoint, and I stand by what I said earlier. Husbands, that's how they talk. Men like you, who don't. You was once married. I don't know what happened in your marriage. But we could go further. You said your piece.
Well, I think that shows that I'm willing to marry. You know what I'm saying? So I
think the biggest thing that you expect a woman to have sex with you, knowing that you're dating other women and knowing that she's not your girlfriend. To me, that's where it'd be different if you're like, I'll date a woman.
Echo. But yeah, I think that's another sense of entitlement. We got a lot of entitled people in this world, and a lot of men in general feel entitled to women's bodies, and that's a part of the bigger problem. Is we automatically think that if I take her on this date, then she gotta give me something. If she don't, that's disrespectful. If I do this, then she gotta do this. You're not entitled to this woman's body, even if. And this was something that was a hard concept for me to understand, right? Because, like, let's say hypothetically, you in a situation where you known this woman for 10 years, y'all been in and out of relationship with each other, and one night, she called you out the blue, y'all miss each other, y'all end up being intimate. In the midst of that, she decides she want to stop, and she don't want to do that. She won't go to sleep now. That's both, even men and women gonna be like, nah, that's out of pocket, right? And that is out of pocket. But you're not entitled to nobody's body. She changed her mind. She changed her mind. That was a very hard concept for me to understand, that somebody can change their mind. They can revoke consent. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know why it was such a difficult concept for me to understand in my younger days. But in my older days, it makes very much sense. Like, I'm not entitled to nobody's body. You're not entitled to nobody's body. That ain't how it works. She can revoke that consent. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's rephrase the story. She decided that she all in. She want to give it up, but the stroke is wiggity. She said, you know what? This ain't worth my time, man. Put that little thing away, man. This is over. Playtime is over. Now, that makes it a little different, right? Makes it a little different. Still, you're still going to feel disrespected, but now you okay, now because you got a reason, it's like, oh, I understand that one. No, but it don't matter. Let's reverse it. Let's say the opposite. Let's say that, you know, same scenario, y'all getting it in and it's not, and you too big. And then she say, oh no, that don't hurt. So I'm done. I'm cool. No, I ain't gonna do that. And you're like, all right, well, you know, if it's doing, you know what I mean, just put your mouth on it, or, you know, let's, yeah. No, I'm not doing nothing. It's too much. I'm done. You're like, but I'm all worked up. Yeah, okay, and I apologize, but I'm cool. Now you might feel like, you know what I'm saying? But it's no difference whether it's a reason, whether it's good, whether it's bad, or whether it's indifferent and it's in the middle. You're not entitled to a woman's body. Point blank, period. And that's something that we need to teach our children. That's something that we need to teach our children when they become adults, right? And now, when you look at it from an Islamic perspective, the rules of the world remain the same, but the religion adds a layer to it. And you can't take it, but that woman need to understand that if you put your husband in that situation, that the angels might curse you. So you have to be mindful. You know what I'm saying? You can still revoke consent, but this your husband now. You know what I mean? The rules are very different. You know what I'm saying? So we really got the blueprint. We gotta trust in it and follow it. We really got the blueprint. Any scenario that you could think of, Islam got an answer for. You feel me? But let's get back to it. I ain't mean to take that.
Who's like, I'm not gonna have sex with you, sleep with other women, but you're like, you won't even date that woman.
Well, women only do that when they don't like you. So like you saying all of this, but in a real life world, like when you go out with a girl, women will ditch everything that they think as soon as they meet guys that they actually like. Okay, and all the women in the chat, they know it's true. They go out with guys and they'll lose all the rhetoric that they watch, because when they meet a guy that they actually like, not only do they do it because they don't want him to leave, but they themselves want to do it. You know, so the one thing that I always tell guys is how much women enjoy doing the do just like men. So women do this all the time. It don't matter what you're saying. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just saying, like, they doing it. So I ain't got to worry about no girl not doing it.
Let me see if we're still echoing. Okay. We have an echo, so I'll continue with you. Yes, I don't know what's happened. You said you're not recording? Why do we have an echo?
I don't know why it's doing it. I'm not recording nothing. I don't even stream. I don't stream. Okay. So, yeah.
All right. We have so many paid questions. I will say this. I will give you that. You're absolutely right. And women got it, just like I was telling, like, women need to stop doing that. Stop throwing out your standards for the guy that got a big penis or a lot of money, because what happens is men are not going to take you serious when you come with your standards for them, because there is truth to that part. I will definitely give you that. Yeah. All right. We got a lot of paid questions. I want to continue with you, but do you want the paid questions for you?
Absolutely. And I just want to say one thing on what you just said real quick.
After that, I'm going to stop it.
Can you hear me clearly?
Okay.
I totally
Let's get these paid questions
disagree with the part that women should not do that. I think women should do that. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. And I actually think
hold on, you think a woman should agree
to
have
stop
sex
it right
with a
here.
man knowing that he's having sex?
I'm going to stop it right here. So, yeah, this one already an hour, so I'm going to stop it right here. And then, you know, when I get some time, inshallah, I'm going to come back and do the other half. But I hope y'all enjoyed the content. How was it? Was I spot on? You know what I mean? Do I have it? I still got it. You know what I'm saying? I still can figure it out. You know what I'm saying? You know, sisters, that of course, I mean, I don't know I'm doing this content. I would have one conversation with this brother and I would know he's not ready for marriage. And I wouldn't, if I was your Wakil, if I was your Ali, I would not marry you to this dude. He still got a lot of growing up to do. I would definitely not marry him to my daughter. But he's not looking for marriage. He's trying to date. He's a dating coach. He very much firmly believes in dating culture, and he firmly believes that, you know, he's the prize, and that if you want that box, then only thing you could do is press play. You hear me? And that's just not true. You know what I'm saying? He don't respect women. He don't respect their autonomy. He don't respect their space. So, you know, dudes like this, you know, come off and they think that they are strong alpha men. But this is why you gotta have strong alpha men in your circle. That's why you need a Wale. That's why you need a Wakil. That's why you need to keep your brothers around. That's why you need to keep your dad around. Because when dudes like this think it's a game, they get hands and feet put on them. That's law. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.